Hey guys, what's going on? If there's some issues, let me know if you can hear me or not. I'm using a new software for streaming. I apologize about the mess in the background. Just trying to get my life together. You know how it goes. Wanted to get on here. We have a lot of new subscribers. Specifically, to put a number on it, we have like 4,000 new in the last 2 weeks, which is incredible. So if you're new, we appreciate you being here. We've tried for a long time to get this up and going. And finally, we hit that viral video we've been waiting on, and we're just really excited to have everybody. We've put a lot of time and effort for 4 years into reviewing golf balls to find out, which ones have the best forgiveness, which ones are the best value for your money, all kinds of stuff. So we appreciate you being here, liking, commenting, subscribing. All those things really help the channel a lot, and that's how it's gotten here. So yeah, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go over a couple things I just want to talk to you guys about real quick, and then if you have any questions about golf balls, I know there's been a lot of comments lately about, hey, can you do this video or can you do this or whatever. I can only do so much with all these comments. I'm trying to keep up with them, so I just kind of type real quick or like try to just say it into the phone. But if you have a real question, you can ask on here, and I'll try to elaborate more. The first couple things I want to talk about is one, today and tomorrow are Prime Day. If you have Amazon Prime, there's a couple deals I saw that are really, really good. I just reviewed the Wilson Profile Distance golf ball 2-3 days ago. It was incredible at the price point it already was. It's $24.39 for 36 golf balls right now through Amazon Prime deal. I mean, that's roughly 65, 70 cents, 75 cents a golf ball, somewhere in there. I'm bad with math in my head, I apologize. I mean, they're giving them away. It's incredible. The other thing is I noticed that Legato, another golf ball 3-piece urethane that I reviewed recently, is $19.99 for a dozen. A 3-piece urethane golf ball for that price that performed that well, that could possibly be a top 15 golf ball on the channel. Goodness, I mean, I know it's only one dozen per person, but even if you've had this much inclination of like, well, hey, I thought about trying it, maybe, it's $20. Now's the time to do it. So I just wanted to cover those two things. Yeah, I've been cranking through reviews, trying to get them out every 2 days. I really appreciate all the new people. It's getting to a point where my family and I have had the talk about when this would be possible full time. So we're on the path for that. And what's really cool about that is one day soon, whenever it may be, when it does happen, not a matter of if, but when, the content's just going to start overflowing. Because if this becomes a full-time job, it would be legit. Right now I'm trying to do it 15 hours a week part-time in between 2 kids and a job. So it is what it is. But yeah, let's dive into some comments. It looks like, hey guys, welcome. I can see the comments over here. So appreciate you, Scott. Hey, Bruce. Hey, I know you, Bruce. I've been emailing you for a couple days. Good to see you. All right, so here, let's answer that question. Best ball for a junior girls just starting out. So let me ask you this, Alex. Are you asking for tournament play, or are you just asking for fun? Because there is a difference. I guess I'll answer it for both. So if you don't care about being tournament and having an issue with that, like the Callaway Riva Max, or the Riva, excuse me, or the Callaway Super Soft Max, those are excellent golf balls. They are a little bigger than your normal traditional golf ball, so they help get up in the air quite a bit. So it's going to depend on your skill level as a junior, of course, and all that stuff. If you're a 12-year-old junior girl prodigy and you're just smoking the ball, maybe something a little different. But if you're just getting into golf for tournament, okay, so I'll answer both of them. So if you're wanting for fun, that's the way to go. If it's for tournament, it is a little different. In my experience, what I have tested as far as the best, Alex, since you did answer that question, let me answer you this: how old's the person in question, and are they swinging? What's their drive? How many yards is their drive? If you can answer those two questions, I can tell you what golf ball for sure. Is there a big difference between a 2-piece or a 3-piece for a high handicap player? Albert, that is a great question. So the reason I push 2-piece golf ball so much is because the level of forgiveness is insane. And there's forgiveness on 2 accounts, right? There's forgiveness on when you miss hit it off the toe or you miss hit it off the inside. That's going to affect how many yards you get out of the golf ball. If I miss hit a Pro V1, I'm losing 15, 20 yards. If I miss hit a Wilson profile I just tested, I'm losing like 7 to 10 yards. So I'm still on the green. That's part one. Part two is that you also get forgiveness on side spin. Golf balls that don't backspin as much also don't side spin as much. So what happens is if you're someone who struggles with a slice or a hook, a two-piece golf ball is going to turn that hook into a possible just strong draw or draw. And it's going to take that slice and turn it into a fade or a power fade. And what that can do is if you're playing a tighter golf course that has water or a lot of woods or things like that, that's the difference between being out of bounds, having to take a penalty stroke, and just being in the rough, keeping it in play. I have a good buddy named Alex, and the first few years we were teaching him, it was kind of the same thing. He had such a bad slice. He'd be like 2 fairways over. And I'm like, dude, I know you love this Pro Plus, but I'm like, it's got way too much spin. And then he'd go to a two-piece golf ball, and yeah, he'd have to sacrifice a few yards from the driver, 5 maybe, but he was in play. And it shaved like 7 or 8 strokes off of his game. So when you're a high handicapper, they make firmer golf balls to where you don't even have to lose as much distance, but you definitely want to stay in that low spin market if you're someone who's spraying it all over. And most of the time, if you're a high handicapper, you're going to be spraying it all over. Let's see, Alex, 13 years old, 145 carry, cool. 167 total, nice, with driver. Okay, so yeah, definitely low compression. Out of all the softer compression golf balls I've tried, the really, really soft ones, there's a couple that stick out in my mind. I've allowed, my mom actually drives the same exact yardage that this person does that you're talking about. Yeah, same thing. The distances with my mom are the same, and I've been using her to kind of test this market. I really love the TaylorMade Kalea. It's so consistent. It's not going to have eye-popping numbers, but it's just consistent. Like, it's always just right there doing what it needs to do. Gets up in the air easy, really good compression distance, but just disparity is so low. I love that. An underdog that I would not have guessed is the MaxFly Softfly. Would not have guessed that, but I ended up getting her some for Christmas, and she was like, kind of put them to the side or whatever, but then about a few months later she broke them out, and she's ripping them down the fairway really, really well. That's another one. The third place, give me a second here, like 5 seconds. I know there's one in particular. Now, if this person ever gets really good, the Snell 2.0 is a good option too, because it is a really soft two-piece golf ball with urethane. So if the stopping power is needed on the greens and say the handicap gets, mid-low, that's another option as well. There was another one though. I wish I could recommend the Wilson Zip, but it's just they've discontinued it, so I can't recommend it anymore. It breaks my heart. Breaks my heart. Oh, yes. Precept Laddie. I know that one's not exciting, but as far as soft compression golf ball, that's amazing on all fronts. It really is. That was the other one. Yeah, I just saw the comment. It's your daughter. That's awesome. Congratulations on that. It's good. Like I said, I wish I could recommend the Zips, but with them being discontinued. I do still see them at Walmart, and they're still on Amazon. You can still buy them. I just don't know when that last dozen's going to run out and they're going to be gone. So, all right, let's see. Okay, kind of more of a request, but senior golfers on YouTube report big distance gain with Pro V1 left dash. I know how you feel about Titleist, but those numbers would be nice coming from you. I can test that. And this is actually a good question, because I have had a lot of comments recently on the channel that have been like, hey, my Golf Spy did a test and they showed that any swing speed can compress a higher golf ball. I want to clarify that for sure. What's usually being tested in tests like that is driver distance. I'm not going to deny that most swing speeds, if they hit a firmer golf ball off the tee, will gain or have at least moderate speed and distance with the driver. That part's apparent. I get more distance on firmer golf balls. The TP5, TP5X, all the golf balls I don't like, I usually get more distance with the driver. But the difference between me and that is that there are a lot of pros out there who I've talked to, and they swear up and down that the driver distance is the only thing that matters. And I just disagree. I just do. I want control. I want forgiveness with my irons. I want to be able to mishit an iron and it go, instead of 155 with my 7 iron, I mishit it. Okay, now it's 150 or it's 145 to where I still have a chance to, two putt. I don't want to have to pitch into the green and scramble all the time. Professionals are good enough to where it doesn't matter. If Rory goes out there and mishits, a 4 iron, and he loses it and ends up on the front of the green, which you see when you watch tournaments. It happens. If you ever see a golfer miss real short, it's because it was a mishit. They're good enough, though, to chip it up and get it right next to the hole and tap it in and move on. I'm not. I'll end up scalding that thing across the green. Now it's in the sand. Now I hit it out of the sand. It rolls back into the sand. Now I've lost 3-4 strokes just because of forgiveness that I could have had. So I do believe that by playing a left dash, you could see a distance gain in driver. But my question is, what happens when you mishit a 9-iron or you mishit an 8-iron or, you try a 50-yard pitch and you don't compress it as well? Are you going to get that spin and that stopping power? That's more of what I try to preach, and I'm glad I could clarify that. So really good question. But I've always wanted to test a left dash. I haven't been able to get my hands on one, so maybe I'll keep looking, and I gladly will test that, 100%. Just ordered the 1999 Legatos. How could you not? It's so, yeah. Absolutely, Alex, anytime. Sugar Pure. I was hoping somebody would not ask this question. Dang it. Okay, so here's what happened with Sugar, okay? Sugar found out that I put the Sugar G1 as my #1 golf ball. I love it. It's fantastic. They reached out to me. They sent me a box of the Pure. I asked them immediately, when can I review? Like, when would you guys like a review? I just try to keep relationships good, And apparently there is an issue, as many of you know, because you've reached out and told me that they don't have the supply. They're out of stock. And they're out of stock because every year they, as any business does, they look at their numbers and go, okay, this is what sales were last year. We're anticipating on a 20% increase this year, whatever. And they order that. Well, now my video blows up. It's getting like 10,000 views every 28 days. And there's a lot of people who are looking at that Sugar Ball at #1 going, well, I'll try it, sure. And now they're sold out. And they had no idea. So it's not Sugar's fault. They had no way of knowing. People have been ordering like crazy. They said that the orders have just been coming in. They said at first they had no idea where the orders were coming in from. They were just like, why all of a sudden are we selling 10 times the amount? What's going on? And then I guess somebody left a review on their website and was like, hey, Golf Ball Addict recommended these and I'm so glad he did. And so then they were able to find it. So long story short, they're not wanting me to review the Pure until spring, which is a long time. And it kind of hurts me. But I think a good compromise would maybe be I'll go out on the course and play it and test it and just tell you guys what I think, like just thoughts, no data, but just thoughts. And then I can do a full review in the spring. That way you guys aren't without it and it doesn't kind of hurt what they are, because I don't want to get on their bad side either. So not that I have to, but it's just, I try to be good. But so after everything you tested, if you had to choose one, what would you play? I hate that question. No offense to you, Albert. It's a good question. It's just, it's so tough when you've tested 125 golf balls. Yeah, it's really tough because there's so many golf balls I love. There's so many golf balls. I guess until I do the review of the Sugar Pure, I would say that if you had to twist my arm and say, hey, pick one ball, I'd probably play the Sugar. I love how it looks. I love how it responds. Across the board, everything was fantastic. Yeah, that's probably what I would play 100% if I just had to pick one ball. But, a couple days ago, I played with the Wright and Ditson. Loved it. Just loved every second of it. I'd actually played a few holes with the Z-Star Diamond, And, it's firmer, and if you hit it well, it's really good. But again, it goes back to that forgiveness, and I just ended up not playing very well. I was kind of struggling, bogey here, bogey there, bogey. And so I was like, yeah, let's switch to the Wright and Ditson. And then it's like birdie, and then it's like par, 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 occasional bogey in there. And I'm like, I feel so much better. It feels so much springy. I just love it. I love the designs of it. It's cool. It's unique. There's a lot of any of the Vice. The Vice Pro Plus I would gladly play, and the Vice Pro Air is another one I would gladly play all the time. It's so tough because especially this year, there's so many good golf balls. Can't Q-Star Tour Divide, if you had to twist my arm, I would gladly play that. Just take a look through these here. I have so many. Yeah, I mean, that's a good start. Any of those would be great. Yeah. All right, let's get back here. Yeah, yeah. Anytime K, absolutely. Yeah, and then another one about the Sugar Pure. I know. What I'll do is, like I said, I'll go test it, and I'll at least let you guys know whether it's good or bad or whatever, whether it's worth trying. But I gotta. Heard some good things. Yeah. No, I'm sugar. It's amazing that sugar's not more popular than it is, considering how good of a golf ball it is. A lot of the time with these direct-to-consumer balls, you have to sacrifice something in there. It's very rare for a direct-to-consumer ball just to be perfect across the board. That's why Sugar got number one, because it was really the only ball I played where just everything hit the mark. No, nothing was perfect, but it was all just so darn good across the board. It was almost no weakness, and so that's what I loved about it. All right, Tommy, I'm a 70-year-old retired Marine. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate your service. I want distance, forgiveness, and consistency. Yeah, don't we all, buddy? I love the Legato and the Vice Pro Plus. Which do you like best? Well, Tommy, you just named two really good golf balls. Tommy, do you know your driver distance? As far as, like, if you hit it, like, I mean, not an amazing, but just average, like what you average with the driver? Because those two golf balls are a huge difference in compression. And Tommy, while I'm waiting on you, I'll answer this one. Swing speed, 100 to 105. Just bought some Vice Pro Plus. Yep, bought some cut reds recently. Not a fan. Nah, you swing too much for the cut red, probably. Yeah, around the green as well. Does this ring true for higher swing speeds? So, it depends on the golf ball, especially with the cut. I tested it when I was swinging 92 mile an hour with the driver. It performed really well for me, but I agree that 100 to 105 is probably going to start over compressing it. It's around 60 to 65 compression. At that point, you're going to start losing some distance and stuff, so you'll want to go firmer for sure. Definitely. 270. Okay, that's respectable. So you're probably close, probably about 100 mile an hour if I had to guess with the driver. I mean, the Legato's value is hard to beat. That's kind of what's making me lean toward Legato. I love the Vice Pro Plus. It's like I said before, the Vice Pro Plus could end up being the number one ball. I don't know 100% if it will or not, but right now it's definitely top five. So you can't go wrong with the Vice Pro Plus as long as it is the new model. If it's the 2024 model, yes. But if you're like, oh, hey, my Sam's Club sells the old model. No, it's the old model's not in the top 10. It's like in the top 30. So huge difference there. But Legato at $19.99, it's hard to beat that right now. Even at $29.99, which is its normal. As far as that swing speed also, if you're looking for something like in the really good, direct-to-consumer line, I would recommend at least trying out the Snell 4.0 at one time. Really good for that swing speed. The Vero X2 as well. The Encore Vero X2, excellent golf ball for that swing speed. If you ever get a chance to test one of those, really, really good. Yeah, any one of those. Gordon, ever had a ball play differently on the course than the way you expected it based off your test? Boy, good question. There's one that comes to mind immediately but it was a bad golf ball. It was actually a Vice Pro Plus, and it was the old model. It was the Sunshade model. You can kind of see it up here on my screen. Oh, well, I can't mimic it. It's this one up here on the screen that's right in the middle. It's the yellow and whatever. That golf ball is actually the golf ball. My buddy gave it to me because it's not used for... It's got some kind of deformity when it was made, and he hit it, and it sounded like a rock, like a real rock. Not metaphorical rock, like a real rock. And the ball went up in the air and started to fade and then immediately cut back to the left and drew. It was the weirdest thing I'd ever seen in my life. And I said, something's wrong with that golf ball. And I bounced it. And when I bounced it, it hit the flat, level, smooth concrete. It hit and bounced left. And I said, something's wrong with that. So I took that one. Now, as far as to answer your question with, like, if a golf ball ever just performed worse, I haven't had that happen, but I have had the opposite happen, where I took a ball on the course, it did not do that well, and then I took it to the simulator and it said it performed really well. And that was the MaxFly, actually, the MaxFly Tour and Tour X. When I went to the course, I just couldn't seem to get them to go the distances. Every time I would hit it, even if I thought it was a pure strike, it would be short of the green. And it got to a point where I had to club up, and I thought, well, man, if I'm going to lose a club per, I'm like, this ain't very good. Now, keep in mind, this was in 2020. But then I brought it back to the actual monitor, and it was like, oh, no, it's average distances. And so I don't know, maybe I was having an off day or something, but that's the only time I can remember something like that happening. Most of the time, if they test good in the simulator, they test good on the course. Now, I will say sometimes I don't pay enough attention to what my golf ball's doing. So sometimes, and I do this because of my, draw bias driver I've had to where I have some hooks. So sometimes I will take a ball like the Vice Pro Plus or the Wilson Triad, one of these more advanced balls, and I'll take them out there and be like, okay, I'm going to hit this off the driver. I want some max distance. I accidentally closed the face too much, and instead of just being in the left rough, like with a more forgiving golf ball, I'm a fairway or two over. And then I'm like, oh, crap, I forgot that you have to be decent to hit this ball. And so that kind of affects it too. All right, Alex, do you know a good website that lists ball compression for current balls out there? I found sites with 2023 data, but nothing current, no cuts now, laddie on those sites. I don't know of one currently. I've used some in the past that have done that. I really wish companies would just list it, but I understand they don't want people getting into that data. Most companies, I hate it, but most companies nowadays are just like max distance and a high spin and impress your friends, and it's all just generic marketing, and I hate that. I don't have anything currently that would list that, but if you ever have any questions about them, I can tell you what I'm guessing the compression would be based on feeling it. So if you ever have a specific golf ball, let me know, and I'll answer it the best I can. But I'll look for that. I'll see if I can get you an answer. All right, Jack, I had the MaxFly Softfly play amazingly compared to expectations. Distance, feel, durability, performance was better than expected. Again, swing speed. Interesting. So I'm surprised the Softfly did so well for you. Have you tried the Straight Fly? Because the Straight Fly is one of my favorites. It's a little firmer, a little bit more of a distance golf ball, 100 to 150 or 100 to 105 mile an hour swing will be really good with that. So I would definitely give that one a shot if you haven't, because it's the same price point. But I love that MaxFly does the 2 for deal. You can get them for, I think, like 2 for 35 or 2 for 40. So, 15, 20 bucks a dozen, somewhere in there. MaxFly, when it comes to their golf balls, really good value. I love the Softfly. My mom actually has been playing the Softfly lately. She loves it. I think it's really comparable. It's like your Pinnacle Rush and your Pinnacle Soft. Good stuff. I mean, really good value. And I love the Straight Fly, like I said. I think MaxFly did an amazing job with it. I'm a rare case of high swing speed, higher handicap. What ball do you recommend that is affordable with a higher swing speed? Well, that's a good question. So, yeah, if you're a higher handicap and you have a high swing speed, you definitely want as much forgiveness as you can get. That's probably going to be Vice Tour is a really good option. It's not a urethane. It is a 3-piece, but it doesn't have a lot of side spin. It has like a medium amount, but it has a really firmer feel, and you get a ton of distance with it. You could give the Vice Drive a try, but I'm not exactly sure because I have mixed feelings about it. Let me look through here. I just mentioned the MaxFly Straight Fly. Great golf ball for fast swing speeds. Absolutely. Clear. Not clear. Too many golf balls. Callaway Superfast. Really good value. Really good distance. You probably have a high swing speed enough to get some spin with it, but not a lot of side spin, especially if you get a matte version of it. It won't spin very much, and it'll forgive you a little bit more. Wilson Tour Velocity, $1 a piece. Amazing golf ball, excellent distance. Definitely on the firmer side of a 2-piece golf ball for sure. Titleist Velocity, you won't see me recommend a Titleist ball very often, but Titleist Velocity is a very, very straight, low-launching, forgiving golf ball for just people who want a lot of distance and want, that forgiveness and not going left and right, keeping it in play. Keeping it in play is so important. And then also, this is one I'm not sure about, but the Bridgestone E9. I tested it, didn't have a lot of luck with it because I just couldn't compress it, but it is meant as a long drive golf ball, and it is designed specifically not to side spin. It is supposed to be very straight. I've talked to some people from at work when they've brought them in and they're using them. It's like guests and customers, and I'm like, I've asked them, hey, how do you like this? I didn't have a lot of luck with it. They were much faster swing speeds than me, and they really enjoyed them, so that might be worth a shot too. Okay. Albert, do you ever test matte finish golf balls? Do they play the same? For the most part, I mean, they don't feel any different really. It's more of how they roll on putts. There's a roll difference. And then also, and it's not a bad thing, it's just one will roll faster than the other, or it'll go a little bit more, and so there's a small adjustment there. And then there's a little bit of a spin difference, but honestly, in my testings, yes, because I do it so much, I could tell, but the majority of people, like my buddies I play with or my mom or any of that, they couldn't tell. They couldn't tell that there was a 2 or 3 feet difference on spin and stuff like that. So there's minor differences, but for most players, nah, within the 99%. Okay, sounds good, Jack. The Laddie I think you would just overcompress. I love the Laddie, but I think it's really, really soft. I think you would overcompress it at 100 to 105. The white Callaway Superfast and the color Callaway Superfast feel like they have different coatings, I assume. How does this affect spin difference? I just kind of covered that. Not very much. It is a little bit different. Like I said, the matte ones do seem to have less side spin and less back spin, but it's very minimal. 200, 300 RPM across average on clubs. I think the coating-wise, maybe the iometer blend coating will stick the green a little bit better, but you're talking very minimal, maybe a foot. Max Fly Straight is like 4 dozen for 55. Yeah, it is. I forgot you could get them in the 4 dozen, but yeah, if you end up liking that golf ball, whether you like the soft or that, it's incredible. What would you say is your best ball for mid-swing players would be? Gosh, I mean, it just depends. If you're a true mid-swinger, again, it depends on your swing speed and it depends on your handicap and all that. What I usually recommend is like your Q-Star Tour. The Q-Star Tour is probably the best mid-swing golf ball I've ever tested, for sure. Anytime, Brody. I'm 92 swing speed with the driver. Oh, I'm 92. My swing speed with the driver is 60. I hit the ball straight, sometimes push right or pull left, but always straight. I envy you. I envy you a lot. My ball's either a fade to the right or a pull hook left. I'm just kidding. I've been doing pretty decent recently. Sometimes suggest a ball. Okay. Yeah. No. I mean, if you're the slower swing speed, the question is going to be if you're always keeping it in play and you think that you can play a 3-piece golf ball. Right now, it's hard to beat the Vice Pro Air. It really is. It's a phenomenal golf ball. I love it. It plays amazing on the course. The feedback I've gotten from the channel, people are just raving about it. They love it. And it's really soft. I mean, you can get a lot of distance out of it. That's if you're looking for something that is urethane and that has, check up around the green and has a little bit more bendability like you want. If you're wanting just a straight 2-piece, hit it in the fairway, get it on the green and 2-putt golf ball, your Pinnacle soft, your Max Fly soft like we just talked about, the Snell Get Some, phenomenal golf ball. And then even... this is a complete dark horse, came out of nowhere. The TaylorMade Speed Soft, either the ink version or the regular. I reviewed it. It was like my first review I did with the new monitor, and I was like, wow, this is the first TaylorMade golf ball that actually put a smile on my face. And then now I've read the feedback from all the people who've watched that review, and I have not seen a single bad comment on it yet. Everyone loves it. So we're even selling them at work, and people are buying them at work over, it's actually kind of making me happy, but people are even buying them over like Pro V1s and stuff. So really cool. I tried that one as well. Let me see. Best 2-piece softer distance golf ball with some spin, 85. Same thing I probably just recommended. Yeah, I mean, slower swing speed, 85, 2-piece, softer distance. Your Snell Gets Some. All those I just recommended would work for that as well, for sure. Is the Wilson Zip spin similar to the Pro V TP5? Looking for a high spinning ball that doesn't cost $70 a dozen. So Wilson Zip is a two-piece model, so it's not going to be as spinning. It's more of a forgiving distance powerhouse. Now, it does stop on a green. I'm not going to pretend like it doesn't. It does. But if you're looking for something that has a high spin to it, that is, inexpensive, Legato, $19.99 right now on Prime Day, but $29.99 normal. Crazy amount of spin. Your Vice Air that I just tested, really a lot of spin. A lot of spin off the 9-iron, a lot of spin off the 7-iron, a lot of spin with the 50-yard pitch, but not compromising any distance. Gain distance in all categories. Another, and again, I just mentioned it before, but the Speed Soft Ink, the $25 two-piece golf ball from TaylorMade, really good with the 50-yard, phenomenal with the 9-iron. I actually, one of the highest spinning golf balls with the 9-iron, despite it being two-piece. And it launches high, so you're getting the high launch with a lot of spin. So, I mean, that's a good combination for spin. So any of those. Oh, you do play the Divide? Yeah, well then that's perfect. Yeah, I have a buddy that actually has a faster swing speed, and even he plays the Divide because he loves how it comes off his irons and stuff. He sacrifices the distance, 5 yards or so with the driver because he wants the iron play and loves it. And, he plays the Divide too. He likes the alignment tool and stuff like that. Best value for swing speed of 110, 115. That's a good swing speed. That's definitely, you're getting it out there. Looking good. Green side spin. Playing the Strixon Z and Love. It's a little pricey. So the Strixon, yeah, you really got to buy the Strixon XVs or 15s, however you want to say it, when they're on sale. When twice a year they go on sale, buy two, get one free, that's when you got to just snatch them up because then at that point they become a very, very good value. If you're looking for something besides that, for a faster swing speed, hard to beat the Vice Pro Plus. Now, keep in mind, I haven't tested it for that swing speed. I've only tested it for mine, but I know it is a faster swing golf ball. I had really good results with the Snell 4.0 as well. There's some great value to be had there. The Encore Vero X2, it's a little more pricier, but if you end up liking it, you can join Encore's program and get them really cheap. Love that. The Mizuno Tour X 2023, an amazing golf ball, even backed by my Golf Spy as a really good option for fast swingers. So that might be another one too. It's not super cheap, but it's a little cheaper. Also the Max Fly X, you can get 2 dozen for $70. Really good option as well. Just ordered the Legato. I don't blame you. Sugar owes you commission fees. They did send me some stuff. They sent me, the sugar cube of the Pure, and they sent me a tumbler, which is really cool, and then like a soda can koozie or whatever to thank me, and I was happy with that. I don't do this for that anyway, but I definitely would say they've made some good profits in the last month or two based off my videos for sure, but good for them. 93 swing speed, would you like that? That would compress over a Laddie Extreme. Hold on a second, let me get you. Oh, would you think that would overcompress a Laddie Extreme? No, because when I tested the Laddie Extreme, I was a 93 mile per hour swing speed, and I can actually just go back to the numbers here. Phenomenal with the 9-iron, amazing ball speed. It was actually one of the highest I'd tested at the time. Incredible 7-iron speed. Yeah. 5 hybrid, off the charts. Driver, really good actually. I thought I overcompressed it once I got to the driver. So no, the answer to that question is no. That's a phenomenal golf ball for that swing speed. The Vice balls are all on Prime Day deals right now. Be careful with that, Bill, because I think those are last year's models, and there is a huge difference between the previous generation and the new generation. I think they're just trying to get rid of the old models. You can still play them. They're not bad golf balls. They're good. But the difference between the ones that came out in 2024, the redesign and the rebrand, and the previous model is that the new brand is like all top 5, top 10, amazing, and the other ones were like, top 30. So, I mean, there's a significant increase there. So you can get a little bit of a value, but just be wary of that. Cool. Well, if anybody has any other questions, there was a couple of them I just kind of wanted to go through on here that I've seen. You know, I'm getting a lot of feedback, a lot of comments. Like I said at the beginning of this video, the channel's blown up. So I just wanted to kind of go through a couple of them and you know, talk about them. The first one this is a comment that's been made by a lot of people. Mainly people who the overrated golf ball list is the first video they've seen from me, and their responses are, you know, hey, I've seen from many other tour professionals and I've talked to people, and they all say that, you know, golf ball is kind of irrelevant. Basically, you know, everyone should be playing a tour golf ball, and, you know, it's all about price. If you can afford it, play it, yada, yada, yada. It's all generic. A lot of guys want to put golf balls not in the same category as clubs, which is hilarious to me because we're all trying to get better. We all want to get fitted for clubs. We all want to have the best performance. But then what's funny about that is a lot of these guys do not want to take golf balls into favor. And my response to all these comments I've been getting is like, look, I have 4 years of data. I understand that it's easy just to go, oh, I swing 115 mile an hour and I've tried, you know, all the tour balls, Bridgestone, blah, 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 and there's only a 2 or 3 yard difference between all of them. Well, right, because you're getting all of a golf ball. I mean, period. Now, I still think you should be looking at how you're hitting the golf ball and your launch angles and stuff like that, but a lot of people just don't think it makes that big of a difference. But the reality is, when I look at the numbers I have, there's such a disparity in some of these golf balls. You know, it's like, when I play, this is a prime example. The difference between the Pro V1 and the Pro V1X for me with a medium fast swing speed, 95 mile an hour with the driver, right? The 50-yard pitch, the Pro V1 spun 7,085 RPM with the 7, excuse me, wrong number. With my 9 iron, where's my... Oh, that's right. This is on the old launch monitor. So let me go to the 7 then. I had it right. So 7,085 spin with the Pro V1 with a 7 iron. That's top tier. That's some of the best I've tested. That's going to stop on the green. It's even going to come back at me a little bit. I love that. With the X, because it's a little bit firmer and it's a little bit more unforgiving, 5,873. So think about that. That's 1,200 RPM difference. And it's not uncommon for me to see stuff like that constantly. So, you know, and I mean, that's just a small example. Distance-wise, the difference between the Pro V1 and the X for me is the distance. It's 12 yards difference. And it's just because of all the stuff we talk about, forgiveness and, you know, all that stuff. So I just want to address that. Like, everyone needs to play different golf balls. Everyone's going to respond differently to different golf balls. But compression and swing speed does matter. It really hurts me, not on a personal level, but just on a grand level, that when I see these guys that are just like, yeah, you know, I swing 60 miles an hour, but I play the Pro V1 because I know it's the best, and you don't know what you're talking about because you're only a 9 handicap. You shouldn't be reviewing golf balls. It's like, what makes you think that? I don't understand that. Who's feeding you these lies? Who's feeding you this propaganda? So, well, my mouse just died. That's awesome. All right. Any more questions about the golf ball? Just 2V all around beginner, 2 year. That's 2-piece soft golf ball compression all around for a beginner, 2 years in. At this point, I would have to say the Snell Get Some. It was Wilson Zip before, but they discontinued them. Thanks a ton. Been trying Wilson Duo Soft, Callaway Super Soft Max Flight. Cool. Yeah, keep trying them, Michael. I mean, keep trying them and figure out, you know, pay close attention to what your golf ball's doing, see what it's doing, and you know, find the one best for you. Would you ever consider doing a video on vintage golf balls like the old ping balls or Nike balls to see if balls today are better? Yeah, that's a good question, actually. You can't see it, but I actually have a big, giant plastic bag of golf balls over here. Let me see if I turn it this way. Yeah, okay, so yeah, you can kind of see it right there. So there's, underneath the tripod, there's a big bag on the ground of golf balls. That is all Nike golf balls. I've been collecting those for like a year and a half, just so I can start testing them to see. Because the old Nike balls were made by Bridgestone and RZN and a couple other these high companies, so they're supposed to be good. So I will be testing those. Yes, good question. Well, Guys, I guess that's it. I appreciate this. This is actually the longest live stream I've done. I was gonna do more comments, but then you guys came on here and actually had so many great questions that I didn't even need to do that. So that's awesome. I really appreciate it. If you have any golf balls that you are wanting reviewed, please just tell me. Just comment on any of the videos or whatever you need to do. Email me. We finally, because of the viewership we have a little bit more resources, and I'm able to actually just order golf balls. You know, back in the day, I had to like really pick and choose what I wanted to order because it's expensive. But now, because it's getting a little bit more successful, it's working. So I can actually just say, oh yeah, hey, you want me to test this? I'll order a dozen of them. So, and that's good. Aloha from Hawaii. What is the average swing speed? So with a driver, average for a male in the world is 92. That's also the average for the professional tour player of a lady. I think the average lady swing speed would be, I think it's around 80. I think it's around like 80 or 85. And then, of course, it goes down. So, like, my 9-iron is 80. I have a 98 mile an hour swing speed with the driver now. So I have a 80 with a 9-iron, a 84 with a 7-iron, and then around a 88, 87 with my 5 hybrid. So it just kind of decreases from there. Wedges are around like the 75 mark, depending on the wedge. Appreciate your time. If you're on watching from Naples, Florida. Hey, thank you, Albert. Appreciate it. Love Naples. Amazing area. Amazing area for golf, too. Not just beautiful. So, all right, guys. Well, I will wrap this up. I will figure out how to get this done, and we will go from there. But I appreciate you guys, as always. Keep watching to keep saving. Oh, real quick. So your reviews are for 92 mile an hour. Yes, that's how I base it off of, basically. 95 mile an hour with the driver is probably average. That's how I review them. From there, I can tell if I'm over-compressing a golf ball. I can tell you if it's for slower swingers, or if I'm not getting enough out of it, I can tell you it's for faster swingers. But I don't have any more data beyond that. Hopefully soon I can expand on that, but right now that's just all I got. When are you going to update your top 10 from Tommy Bailey? Probably at the end of the year, to be honest with you. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things I'll say for the end of the year, and then we'll just do a whole nother, probably top, I don't know if I'll go through the top 100 again. That seems kind of long, but I'll definitely, if I do, it'll be quick, but I'll definitely update that at the end of the year. It's all right, Fun Machine. I'll answer your question. What are you asking if Callaway Diablo is good? That's another ball I want to retest. I did the old model like 2 or 3 years ago, and it was okay. But I heard the newer one's better. Thank you very much. I appreciate all you guys. I appreciate you subbing. So I'll see you guys later.